it felt like, okay, it's all turning around. This is going to be my tournament.
After a rocky start to her summer, Day was focused on one event, the WSOP Ladies Championship.
Day one was awesome. I was really excited about the ladies event. I've had good success there previously, and I just love the event. I think it's a lot of fun. And I always like reconnecting with so many of the women in the poker field. Like, we know each other, it's a small group. So when you show up to an event like the ladies event, you can't like go 5 steps through the horseshoe without running into somebody that you know and getting to catch up. And that's always really fun. The first thing I did is, you have the new app, you look at your phone, and you can kind of scratch off your table and you can see, okay, who's going to be at my table. And I'm a fan of Winamax, and I'm a fan of the series Inside the Mind of a Pro. So I was familiar with Leo Margetts, and I knew who she was, and I knew she was a Winamax pro. And she was sitting a few to my left, and I was excited to play with her, but also not very happy, because you always want to look at your table and see a bunch of people that you don't know, who have no hen and mobs, and, because you got to look everybody up. And this was somebody who had been a pro for a very long time.
The ladies event means everything today. It's a chance for her to compete against people she admires, people she enjoys, and it just meant everything to her to have that chance.
So I sit down, we are playing, I'm getting a really good feel for the other players. Partway through day one, we were still in registration. Kristen Foxen comes and sits down. Leo was 3 to my left, and now Kristen was directly on her right, so 2 to my left. And so then I have Kristen Foxen and Leo Margetts, and I am thinking to myself, oh my gosh, like, this is pretty insane.
Anybody that says ladies events are soft has no clue about the caliber of players in these fields. I mean, here Day is with 2 players on her left that are tougher than any table I have ever faced in my 20-year career.
We ended up getting through the night. I bagged a pretty nice stack for day 2. I thought, man, this is what it's about. This is the tournament. It all turns around. Because here I'd been at the WSOP for a week, and it had just been bust out after bust out after bust out. To get through the ladies event, to not have any big coolers happen, to not have any huge hands cracked, it felt like, okay, it's all turning around. This is going to be my tournament.
While Day is stacking chips, Mika has arrived for her very first day at the WSOP, a trip she almost didn't make.
I'm Mikha Richards, I'm 34 years old, and I live in Cleveland, Ohio. I am a lead product analyst where I analyze and collect data on historic trends to make my best predictions for the future. After much consideration, I ended up last minute deciding to go to the World Series of Poker. All the stars had aligned. I talked to my manager. He gave me the A-OK that it wasn't a time that I needed to be fully present. And I talked to my dad, and he was on board. And then my Chase the Dream team was all out there, or heading out there and getting ready, and it just lit that fire in me. So next thing I knew, I booked last minute tickets and I got a hotel at the link and made the trip. The first day at the World Series of Poker was really busy. I had a ladies' breakfast to go to, and that was lovely. I got to connect with so many women that I talk to online often, but I only get to see them maybe once a year. Reconfirm the decision to go there. Being in such an inclusive environment, such an uplifting group of women, makes poker a little better for me personally.
When you have a conversation with Mika, you're like, this person actually cares about what I'm saying. Enough that their next follow-up question is going to get you to consider what it is you really think or feel.
But unfortunately, the breakfast lasted longer than my first bullet and my second bullet in the ladies event, and I did some laps and just kind of hung out. It took the leap to become a professional poker player in 2022. And I remember my first day of being a professional poker player. And it was all about getting my life organized to set up what I wanted for my future. It was building the foundation of who I wanted to craft myself into, who I wanted to find on the other side of poker, and even discover what poker meant to me or who I was without my corporate job that I had held for 9 years. What I found in poker was a deeper layer of myself. I was so intertwined in the reality of myself, of who I crafted during my corporate 9-year journey, that I didn't know what I was without that. And I unfortunately had to, and I guess fortunately as well, see the darkest aspects of myself, but also the most beautiful aspects of myself. Taking that leap to become a professional poker player helped me tease apart who I was from the worst to the best aspects of myself and move forward with just the pieces that I wanted that would serve me to be the best version moving forward. I left poker as a professional in October of 2024. It was a really tough decision to make. It had my whole heart, it had my whole life, it had all of my time, all of my freedom, all of my routines wrapped within it, and it had my identity. Poker is not a 9-to-5 job, in Cleveland, Ohio at least. It's a 3 to midnight, and you grind when all the rest of the world is grinding, and that's at nighttime. So a lot of things in my life suffered: relationships, time with family, health. I gained a lot of weight, and I found it really difficult to strip myself away from this computer setup. And I think the breaking point, the inflection point for me was when I took a step back to reflect on my goals at the beginning of my poker journey. My goal was to play live poker as a professional. And I found myself playing online poker as a break-even player. I think I was up $1,000 over like a 6-month period was my last run. And that wasn't enough for me. I then registered for the Gladiator. So my second event was the Gladiator, and I had 4 bullets planned for it. These are only $300. And I had, I think, a max of $5,000 for the whole week. So easy to add that in as my bankroll allowed for it too. And the first day I felt like a fish in shark-infested waters. Even though I didn't think the players were incredibly great, I was just really bad. Then day 2, I kind of just like pep talked myself to remember where, like, my foundation that I'd built, the team that I had supporting me behind me, everything I had learned, trying to channel all the people that had mentored me in the past or studied with me. And I think it was level 2, I got it in pre-flop. I think it was like 400 big blinds deep with aces versus queens. So it was just like such a dream day until the queen was on the flop and I'm out, and now I'm standing there like, oh no, what am I doing? And then I registered again immediately after. Well, that was the trick. I came into the money after a great day of just picking up spots, picking up when an individual who was in the pot was overly folding pre-flop. I would squeeze on them and they would fold and show me their hands.
She has the ability to change gears. I think that's super impressive. I think sometimes when you're kind of in your intuition street poker game, and some people in their GTO game, they struggle to kind of jump back and forth. I think she has the ability to change gears.
I would attack the one player who I noticed was taking spots, and I would pick up those chips, or I would trust myself. I made it in the money with about 5 or 6 big blinds. I held on for dear life. I just really wanted to cash after not playing for a long time and busting so quickly in the ladies event. And those other 2 bullets, that making it in the money while it was only $600, that was something. It meant something to me. It wouldn't take me out of the hole, but it would be like a little check mark on my WSOP week that I had planned out. And I spun it up.
I made day 2 in the Gladiator, and it's pretty sick because the last 5 hands I doubled up and have more than the average stack. I have 1.8 million and average is about 900K. There's 800 people going into day 2, and I think first place is going to be like 800K, which would be absolutely life-changing to me.
We bag up and me and my dad high five, we take our selfies.
And my dad made it into day 2 as well. We're very, very stoked.
When Mika bagged the Gladiator, you could just see the pride, and hear the pride in her voice, and having her dad there just made it so special.
And we got to have like an after bag beer together where we both bagged, and it was just really a special moment.
I was really excited. I was excited about my table draw. I was excited about my stack size. It wasn't huge. I think I had about 25 big blinds or so, but I was very confident that I was going to cash this event. I knew I had to, I knew ICM pressure was going on. I knew I had to adjust. I wasn't going to get out of line. Within the first couple orbits, I had some nice hands. I won a couple pots. Everyone was playing really, really tight. So it folds to me in the cutoff. And I look down at ace 3 off. And because everyone was playing so tight, I decided to raise this hand. I could fold in like a high ICM situation. I can fold ace 3 off from the cutoff, but because everybody was playing so tight, I decided to open this hand. So I opened from the cutoff ace 3 off, and it folds to the big blind, who has me covered, and she flats. The flop is ace 5 3 rainbow. Top and bottom pair. I mean, here we go. How great is that hand? I bet just 1/3. And then she raises, but not a normal raise size. She raises a very large size. I think to myself, probably all of the wrong things. I thought to myself, ace-3 is good here. She could have 4-6 suited. She's never gonna call me with 2-4. She could have 3-5. I just thought I was good there. But I jammed. And she insta-called with ace-5. And the turn was a 5. So I was drawing dead. And so the tournament that was supposed to turn my summer around was over. This has been the worst World Series that I've ever had. I'm not crying. There's no crying in poker. I'm fighting back the tears right now, seriously. Sitting on the floor of the horseshoe. Oh my gosh. I gotta keep my chin up, even though this was really tough. Like, really tough. I don't think my brain ever considered that I wouldn't make the money in this one. Anyway. All right, maybe a few little tears in poker, but just like a couple. Have a little pity party. It's just a game.
The hardest part about the transition from online to live is how much more everything hurts. You know, online you make a deep run, you play for 4 or 5 hours, you take a bad beat or you bubble. It stings a little, but you got 6, 8, 10 other tables going and more opportunities. But to play a live tournament for 2 or 3 days and miss out on the money, those sting like hell.
Important things, family, health, all the important stuff. Just a game. All right. Anyway, I just wanted to keep it real. I'm gonna pull myself together. Then I'm gonna put my tail between my legs and fly back to Florida and just call this a wrap.
Hi, I am walking over from the link to the horseshoe. I made day 2 of the Gladiator, so I'm coming back. There's 812 people left at 24,000, and I'm a top 72 stack of that 812 people. I have 36 bigs, and I think average bigs is 18 BBs. And I was so locked in yesterday. It felt so good to really, truly want to achieve and get there and make it to a bag. And today I am feeling locked in, ready to fucking make day 3, the final day. But just having that confidence that I can run deep, I can be a solid player, I can be consistent, I could be locked in, I can be focused, really debunks all of that negative self-talk that I had about not being consistent and not being good enough to make it anymore. That I'm a washed up old rec, and I was better off before. So relief. That's what I feel right now, relief. All right, good luck us. To me and my dad, we both made day 2, and I will keep the good vibes rolling.
So day 2 comes, and the first 2 hours is wildfire. They're breaking tables left and right. My table breaks about 5 times within the first 3 hours, but I know how to adapt, I know how to shift gears, and I stay course. I make one really big bluff. And because I was getting recorded at the table, I table my cards to show that I had pocket 10s, no flush. And the guy next to me is a little bewildered that I would even do that, because it was a spot that no one ever bluffs. No one ever bluffs on a river 4-liner flush re-raise. So he had bet the river to a 4-liner flush, and I re-raised him, and it was so awesome. And then I just grinded. There was a certain plateau that I hit around dinner break. I was feeling a bit lost, a little like defeated. I think the players were getting better. I was leveling myself mentally, and I thought I was riding this wave of momentum in the game, and I wasn't seeing that anymore. I didn't feel like I had a solid footing at the new table that I was at with all the movements, and I just really didn't find spots anymore.
I am on dinner break. It's an hour break. I've already bridged 20 minutes, and I'm gonna take like a 30-minute nap and hopefully recharge. There are 91 people left, and the next pay jump is at 89, and I think that's like a 5K payout. But I'm doing really good. I'm playing solid. I'm doing small ball poker, nothing crazy, but just very consistent. So I'm happy to be here, just tired. I'll keep it up though. I'm gonna make day 3.
So I did my best to ladder up some of the people on my rail, and then with the new app, my friends and family back home were all cheering me on because they could watch, and they were letting me know 2 people had told the money bubble, or they would yell to me that somebody busted and I had made another jump. And I thought my time was gonna end around 53, but I had happened to doubled up and then kind of sailed off around 42.
You know what I did is, like, when I got down to 4 big blinds and I was tanking, it's the worst feeling ever tanking. I just kept thinking about like all the great moments that this tournament had to offer, and like how much gratitude I had for like the cards that I was dealt, the way I played, the people I got to play with, and then like the rail and support that I've gotten the whole time.
That was a really nice win, because 42nd out of about 25,000 people is a remarkable placement. It's 41 people between me and my first bracelet. But I was really grateful to have that experience. I was so close. So that kind of sucks, but honestly, like, I took the payday. It was about $12,000 or $13,000 for a $300 investment, plus those other bullets, but.
It was a tough summer. But when I look back at it now, it was all worth it.
Next week on Chase the Dream, Craig's still chasing that big score.
I want a circuit ring. I want something. I have one live tournament win.
And finds himself on the precipice of history.
A flip for the WSOP bracelet in the 2025 $500 freeze out.
But all of them voices, we got them. Lie to me, Hillary Rodham. I just came back from my kid in the bottom, and now I'm gonna bring it back all the way on them. Yeah. One time, I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. You better believe they're looking for me. One time, I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. They're looking for me. Yeah. One time, I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. You better believe they're looking for me. One time, I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. Looking for me. Yeah, I gotta go, and this I go. I'm dying a legend, that's just so you know. Yeah, I'ma go get it. We just keep pushing the limit. I am like all the way with.